The TikTok ban is disingenuous, and you know why? Take a look at what Facebook does. Hi, I'm Professor Einstein, and today we're going to look at the dark arts of Facebook. Facebook has done a lot of crappy things over the years, and we don't have time to go through all of them, but I'm going to hit on some, let's call them lowlights. Almost 10 years ago, Facebook did an experiment with the news feed. What they did was manipulate the amount of negative content on the news feed in order to be able to manipulate people's emotions. And what they found was the more negative content they put on the feed, the more negative the content that was posted. Look, the fact of the matter is if you're online, you're part of a 24/7 marketing research project. Companies are scooping up your data and they're using it in order to be able to get you to buy products. That's not great, and we'll talk about that another time. But what Facebook was doing was what's known as emotional contagion. And what happens with emotional contagion is as people start to see other people act a certain way, the contagion takes off and they start to act similarly. Of course, you all probably remember the Cambridge Analytica scandal. Cambridge Analytica is a company that used data that it got through Facebook in order to be able to manipulate the 2016 election. Here is a promotional video that is no longer available online.
Cambridge Analytica.
Communication is fundamentally changing.
But if you're going to spend $1 billion, you want to be really ruthless about making sure that you're focusing on the right people.
And daily, we're updating our modeling with this data to show an accurate picture where the electorate stands that day.
Today in the United States, we have somewhere close to 4,000 or 5,000 data points on every individual.
After we re-rated our polling, it allowed us to see that a lot of these Midwestern Rust Belt states were 1 to 3 points closer than what most people thought.
That is why this little-known company has become such a powerful tool in politics.
You did something that a lot of people who get paid a lot of money to do were not able to see and do, which is you got this right.
Met Donald Trump yet? He should be kissing you today.
The truth is, they didn't use the data the way they said they did. They used the data in order to be able to manipulate people so that they wouldn't vote. More recently, you may remember Frances Haugen. She was the Facebook whistleblower. Take a look at what she had to say.
There were conflicts of interest between what was good for the public and what was good for Facebook. And Facebook over and over again chose to optimize for its own interests, like making more money. The consequences of how Facebook is picking out that content today is it is optimizing for content that gets engagement or reaction. But its own research is showing that content that is hateful, that is divisive, that is polarizing, it's easier to inspire people to anger than it is to other emotions. If they change the algorithm to be safer, people will spend less time on the site, they'll click on less ads, they'll make less money.
One study says 13.5% of teen girls say Instagram makes thoughts of suicide worse. 17% of teen girls say Instagram makes eating disorders worse.
And what's super tragic is Facebook's own research says, as these young women begin to consume this eating disorder content, they get more and more depressed, and it actually makes them use the app more.
Facebook has also been accused of redlining. Traditionally, redlining meant that the banks wouldn't loan money to certain areas. There were red lines around particular areas because it was assumed that people couldn't afford to pay back the loan. Online, it means they may not have access to certain housing or better jobs because of the ads that are being fed to them. So to sum this all up, Facebook has exploited our emotions. They have ramped up the anxiety, particularly of teenagers. They have discriminated against people, and they have manipulated a presidential election. But they're worried about TikTok. If people are concerned about China owning TikTok, I understand that if you work for the government. I also understand that if you are a reporter. It's probably why someone like Kara Swisher says she will only use a burner phone when she uses TikTok. And I get it, she's a reporter, makes sense. But for the vast majority of people who use TikTok, it's really no different than going onto any other social media app. And what I always like to say, there's 3 things that people don't want other people to know about when it comes to privacy. your health status, how much money you make, and who you're sleeping with. And if you don't want anyone to know those things, just don't talk about them. The TikTok